Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, today I have the Hubsan Zino 2 with me. I'm out at Heroes Park in Meridian. This guy just had an app update. In fact, it's had a couple of app updates since the last time I flew it. Now, one of the things I know they did for the Zino 2 Plus is they added a couple more intelligent flight modes. I know they added a droney and something else, but a couple more of the intelligent flight modes under the creative flight menu in there. So we'll see if maybe those got added to the Zino 2 as well. But also what it said is that you know, the usual vague optimized flight experience. Okay, we'll see what that is. But then also there was something to do with updating your flight records. So you know, I don't know. I'm not sure that that's anything anything I'm too terribly worried about. But if nothing else, it's a decent day to fly. Here in Idaho today, we've had a lot more smoke blow in from the south. That unfortunately, the wildfires are still burning in California, and the prevailing winds blew a lot of smoke into our area. So I'll get the drone up and you'll see we won't even be able to see the Boise foothills or see very far at all. But we will take this guy for a little bit of a flight and see if we can find anything new, right? And of course, I'm still curious. You know, I recently had the problem with FPV on the drone, and so I still, you know, want to make sure that everything is working as it should. So let's quit messing around. Let's get this bird in the air. Well, okay, I'm getting a gimbal gyro failure here for some reason. So, yeah, don't know what that is. That's the first time I've ever seen that. Error number 0x0002. So I'm going to reboot the drone and see what happens. So I rebooted the drone and I watched it go through the gimbal calibration there. So hopefully that did it. System is initializing. Yeah, it looks like that has gone away. So yeah, it was just something about the way the drone initialized there. Who knows? Maybe the gimbal got caught on the landing pad there. We're on grass. It says ready to fly, but let's go ahead and look at our status list. And there again, you can see everything showing as normal. Yep. So we're good to go there. So we've got good FPV. Let's take a look at our. Let's switch over to video. And we want to take a look at our video settings. And this guy always goes into 60 frames per second, and I like 30 frames. Really, the only time you really need 60 frames per second is if you're going to do some slow motion, some action things. I'm going to leave white balance on automatic. I don't know, maybe we should try something new here. Let's, you know, I was going to switch color to something different. Let's see what bright does for us, because obviously we've got all this smoke in the air. So I'm going to put the color on bright, and let's see how that looks in the video. I've never done it before, so it's worth a shot. And I'm going to enable my grid lines here. Grid lines are on. And just for the fun of it, I'm going to format the SD card. Doesn't hurt a thing to format it in the drone. That way you know it's set up like the drone wants to see it. And I always forget, that always takes a while on the Hubsan Zino. You know, most drones it just takes a second to do that, but this guy, it always takes it a few minutes. Speed check passed. Well, thank goodness. It's a SanDisk Extreme Pro, so that's good. Okay, we're gonna start recording, and looks like recording has started. I see no reason not to take off. We're gonna hit takeoff on the app here, and let me get out of the way so that you can see this thing take off. that's a successful takeoff. There's not much wind today at all, so you know, these Hubsan drones tend to get a little bit of drop if there's any wind at all, but there's not much today. It affects the barometer, so this guy looks good. So shoot, I'm feeling brave. This is one of the most stable takeoffs I've had with this guy in a while. Nice and steady. Feels really good to fly this drone like that. So let's bring it in here. I'm going to drop it down a little, and let's bring it into the camera. I don't know if I've brought it this close to the camera in a long time. So let's do our usual bank back and forth, and you can see that gimbal in action. And you can see how what that gimbal does to maintain that level flight. So let's do our usual manual droney. So we're going to go reverse and up now. Reverse and up. And I'm going to drop the camera down just a little bit. So here you're getting a really good shot of all the smoke in the area here. So I mean, look at the haze on the horizon. And I'll tell you, one thing that I really appreciate about Hubsan is they always have a nice flat horizon. That just looks really good. The folks at FEMI could take a lesson from Hubsan on this one. Ron Braun and I have had that conversation many times about how we wish that Hubsan could have the flight controls that the FEMI has, and that the FEMI could have the horizon that the Hubsan has. But I'm going to go over to the opposite corner of the park here. And you guys have seen this view. Anybody that watches my videos have seen this view a lot. And I'm going to turn it around and point it here. And we are pointed directly at the Boise foothills. The Boise front Bogus Basin Ski Resort is up there. But you can't see it because of all this smoke. And it's amazing how fast that smoke blows in. And it's, you know, it puts us in that, I think we're in the orange alert today for air quality, which, you know, what that means is people that have any kind of breathing problems or you know, asthma or anything like that should stay inside. So let's reverse and turn around here. And we'll even see if we can get a shot at the construction at the Costco over there. There it is. And you know, that is supposed to, they originally told us that was going to be open October 15th, which actually would be next week. And they changed it to October 30th. So by October 30th, they say that thing's going to be ready to go for us. So let's look around the other direction here. And even though we don't have a lot of construction going on, let's run across the street here. I'm going to put it in sport mode. Sorry about that. I just wanted to make sure I had it in the right mode. And we're going to head across the street here. And we're going to go right over the pond. And looks like we're clear. Let that one car go by and we're good to go. And we could head across the street. So I'm going to keep the antenna pointed at the drone. That's the other thing that I really like about this Hubsan Zino. It's got that leash transmission system. Boy, I'm not going to say it's exactly on par with OcuSync, but it's damn good. You just don't have issues with this thing losing connection. We'll go out, and you guys have seen this before too, but we're going to go clear out to the corner of this field over here. And again, you know, I just can't help but remark on the hazy sky. You know, I was out here the other day, and boy, you could see all the way to the mountains, the Oahe Mountains off in the distance, but boy, you can't see them today. And boy, just as soon as I start bragging about it, I got a little FPV break up there, and we're about, I don't know, 60 meters high, so maybe we'll grab a little more height here and see if that improves our connection some. There is also, I've noticed when I fly in this particular area, that I get a lot of Wi-Fi interference, and lesser drones, you just lose connection. You just flat lose connection. And you can see there I'm getting a lot of modeling on the FPV screen, but we still have had a solid connection, so that's good. Let's kick it into gear here and let's bring it back, and we'll go in and mess around with some of those intelligent flight modes. Whoops, sorry, in sport mode I always overdo that, y'all. It's hard not to. So I'm trying to get it pointed exactly over the top, and we've got some cars coming, so we're going to pause for just a second. And looks like we got it now, so full stick forward. We can beat this guy coming here. Yeah, we got it. And we're going to go right over the pond and over the flagpole, and I don't know if you can see me. I'm standing under a tree there in the shade. I apologize for continuing that. Yeah, I just wanted to get the drone pointed the right direction. And boy, I'll tell you, it is flying over the top of me. It is so fun to watch that thing move. It sounds like a Formula One racer. Okay, so let's bring it back to us. Let's mess around with some of the flight modes here. So let's drop a bunch of altitude, and we will, well, let's take it out of sport mode. I don't know what I was doing there, trying to do that in sport mode, but yeah, let's drop some altitude and bring it around. Boy, you can see the trees starting to change color there too. I'm looking in the parking lot. Those trees are, shoot, they practically dropped all their leaves. I'm looking around me here. Fall definitely catches up to you. And so there I am over there. That is low enough. Bring the drone around here a little. Okay, so one of the things, let's see, we're still at 62% battery. This guy does a great orbit. Let's go over to the flagpole over here in the corner, and let's see if we can orbit the flagpole. And we're going to want to probably get some more altitude to do that, because there's trees there. But let me see if I can get right over the top of the flagpole. Dropping the gimbal down here. What I'm going to try and do, folks, is just do an orbit around the yeah, that's pretty darn close, huh? Okay, I'm going to grab just a little more altitude because I don't want to bother anybody. And we're going to go into that little, looks like an X at the top there, and we're going to go into orbit mode. And oh gosh, so I did all that work and I forgot about GPS accuracy. I forget this every time, so we're going to bring it back to us. Sorry about that. Fortunately, we're close. And I can bring the drone right down here. I don't have to land it, but I've got to have it fairly close to me. So that should be close enough. I'll turn around so you guys can see me down here. And we should be able to do that GPS accuracy test. So Let me go in here and start GPS accuracy test. Good GPS accuracy, it says, so we're good to go there. So we can pick it up again and go back over to the flagpole. So the reason I want to get right over the top of it is we're going to set the flagpole as the center of the orbit. So that's pretty close. That's going to have to do, and we are well above any trees. So I'm going to pick the gimbal back up here. And I love that where they've got the flagpole there, they've got a lot of flowers and so forth there. They really got that looking good. So let's go into orbit mode again, and I'm going to click, I got it there. And we're going to set the aircraft's current location as the point of interest. And then the next step is you got to back it up. And that number that says current radius, as soon as that turns green, you're far enough. And I can't remember what, yeah, only 5 meters, so it's not very far, but we're going to be a little bit more than that. So, yeah, we're going to have to drop the camera down a little bit. I don't want to go too far out in my orbit, but we'll do that. That's about right there. So execute immediately, and we can set the speed of the orbit here. And let's exit here so we can see that on FPV. And I must have done something there. Evidently I stopped the orbit for some reason. I don't know what I did there, guys. I must have hit the wrong button. So too bad I can't. I got to go right back over the top of it now to start that. So you're seeing what I would show you guys on my videos is mistakes and all. You know, when I screw something up, I don't hide it. I show it to you because chances are you could make the same mistake. So aircraft's current location is POI, and then we're going to back it up again. And I hear an aircraft. I want to make sure I get eyes on him. Of course, we're not high enough to. And there he is. He is off to our northwest, and he is well out of our way. So I am going to again click execute immediately. Yeah, what I did last time was I clicked, let me pick that gimbal back up. And we should be, yeah, going around the flagpole here. Okay, sorry, I got distracted by a couple of things. I wanted to make sure I saw that aircraft and that we got this thing going correctly. So what I did last time was I clicked exit instead of hide. I was just trying to hide that dialog box that was on my FPV screen. And you know, you can see there that I was a little bit off of the center there. Had I been exactly centered over that flagpole, we'd have that perfect. But I just love the look of this thing. I just think they do such a great job with that little area around the flagpole, and if we had any wind, you'd see the Old Glory flying around there. But it looks like I said, that little garden that they have, the little flower garden that they have planted around there, looks just so good. So I always enjoy showing that off. And the you saw that little gator with the groundskeeper in it. She is the head groundskeeper for this park, and talked to her quite a bit. So we just about have a full orbit there, so we are going to stop that. And then again, I just click that stop in the top there, and let's back the drone up. And bring it down and bring it in. Okay, we're going to hover there for a second. What we're going to do now is we're going to look at the, we're going to go back into the intelligent flight modes, and I want to look at creative video Oh, I have to stop recording before I can even go in there. Okay, so we're going to stop recording now. And I'm going to go into creative video. And yeah, so really it's just giving us, there's no droney there. So evidently it only gets those new intelligent flight modes on the Zino 2 Plus. So we're not going to get it here, but let's walk out into the field and we're going to try some of that stuff around. So let me go out and get in front of the drone and we'll try some of this. Let's get further out into the field here a little bit. I want to get plenty of room out here. I saw some people walking around. There was a guy walking his dog, etc. So we want to stay out of everybody's way. So I am going to click on Comet and let's pick the gimbal up just a little. I'm the point of interest. We're going to go, yeah, let's go counterclockwise. And go. This is a new one, so I think this is, it's just kind of an oblong, so it's kind of like, yeah, see, it's moving away from me. It's kind of like what they call a boomerang if you were on a DJI drone, and it's descending and coming back. So I haven't done that one for a while. The last time I did that one, I was at a really high altitude, and it didn't look that good. So it stopped recording here. So we're going to start recording again, and we're down to 26% battery. So let's just, we haven't got time to do much. Let's go into following mode. Let's do active track. And I'm going to draw a, yeah, it's identified the target.
Low battery warning.
Yeah, it wants to do a return to home. So let's just go ahead and let it do that. What the heck?
Return to home.
It's ascending to altitude. I'll walk back over here to the camera and to the landing pad, and we'll see if we can get a precision landing. I'll shut off the camera. This drone, you have to turn off video. And you saw a little blip on FPV. That's because the drone is right above me. Shut off video so that it can use its camera to find the landing pad. But like what happened there, you saw that little blip on FPV because the drone was right above me and I had the remote pointed straight ahead. Now it's quite a ways off here. I'm going to move the camera around so you guys can see it. And we're just gonna let it land in the grass here. It's not gonna hurt anything. So anyway, there's the landing, and let me move the camera again. Hopefully we can get them both in here so you can see the distance. Yeah, there you can see the distance from the landing pad. So yeah, down to 19% battery. Let me get everything shut down here, and we will do a quick conclusion. Hey, okay guys, gosh, pretty pleased with the Zino 2 today. Really, the only glitch that we had was initially there we had a gimbal error, and just restarting the drone cleared that. So I suspect that maybe the gimbal got caught on the landing pad when it tried to go through its calibration, and we're on grass, so that landing pad is not perfectly flat. So I'm sure that's what that was all about. But very stable today. I mean, you guys saw the takeoff. I mean, it just hung there like it was hanging from a string. So it did just fine. Now, Could that be some of these updates that they've done with firmware and the app, etc.? Very possibly. But we had a really good flight with it. We went out clear behind the Super Walmart back there and look around. We did see a little bit of FPV breakup out there that far. I'm going to say though, almost every drone I fly out there, with the exception of the DJI drones with OcuSync, I do get a little bit of that, and I think there's a fair amount, because we're in an urban area, there's a fair amount of Wi-Fi interference. Then we kind of had fun doing an orbit around the flagpole. Took me a couple times to get that right. I always forget to do this drone. You need to do a GPS accuracy test for the intelligent flight modes to work, and I always forget to do that. And then as soon as you try and get into one of those modes, it tells you have to do it. Well, it's no big deal. You just bring it back, you hover it above you, and all it's doing is it's saying, hey, this GPS agrees with the GPS in your phone, you know, so that they both know where they're at. I wish they would give you that prompt at startup like they do with the original Zino. That way you just do it before you take off and you know it's done. Yeah, and then we did the boomerang out here. I think that's only the second or third time that I've done one of those, and before I always did them at higher altitude, so you really couldn't see what it does. But doing it at lower altitude, it is more dramatic. I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get some of those other intelligent flight modes that they put on the Zino 2 Plus, but yeah, I mean, overall, darn good flight today. So I guess that's about it. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out, and if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I really do appreciate you taking the time to look at this video, and of course we'll see you on the next one. Yeah, the Hubsan Zino 2, I'm telling you, I'm liking this drone better all the time. Oh, I just thought of something else. We did try that bright setting on the colors on the video, so I'll be anxious to, you guys will have already seen it, but I'll be anxious to see what that looks like on the SD card. Anyway, all right, see you guys later.